Hello, Dimsdale. I'm Jet You Betcha with today's editorial, which technically makes it a Jetatorial. U.S. Justice Department officials warned that the online extremist network known as 764 poses a serious and growing threat to young people worldwide. Speaking at a George Washington University panel, prosecutors said members use mainstream social media platforms to identify vulnerable teens, coerce them through blackmail, and pressure them into harming themselves or others, often to gain status within the network. Authorities say the group operates more as an ideology than a single organization and aims to destabilize society. The FBI is investigating hundreds of suspected affiliates, and dozens have already been charged. Officials are prompting renewed calls in Congress for legislation specifically criminalizing coercion related to self-harm and online extremist exploitation. In other developments, TikTok has signed agreements to create a new U.S. joint venture largely controlled by American investors, according to an internal memo from CEO Shou Chew obtained by ABC News. The deal is intended to resolve a years-long standoff following a U.S. law requiring TikTok to be banned unless its Chinese parent ByteDance divests control. Under the agreement, Oracle, Silver Lake, and MGX will each hold 15%, ByteDance will retain 19.9%, and affiliates of existing ByteDance investors will own 30.1%. The venture will be governed by a majority American board and oversee U.S. data protection, algorithm security, and content moderation. Oracle will act as the trusted security partner for auditing compliance. The transaction is expected to close by January 22, 2026. In another update, Singapore will introduce mandatory judicial caning for certain scam-related offenses starting December 30th as part of amendments to criminal law aimed at deterring rising fraud cases. Under the changes, scammers may receive between 6 and 24 strokes of the cane, in addition to prison terms and fines. Individuals who knowingly allow their bank accounts or personal details to be used for scam proceeds may face up to 12 strokes at a court's discretion. The Home Affairs Ministry said the tougher measures are intended to keep laws effective and responsive. Scams accounted for about 60% of all reported crime from 2020 to mid-2025, with roughly 190,000 cases and losses nearing 3.7 billion Singapore dollars. Common scams include phishing, job fraud, e-commerce scams, investment fraud, and impersonation. In other developments, President Donald Trump signed an executive order reclassifying marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 under federal law, placing it alongside drugs like Tylenol with codeine. The White House says the move is intended to reduce barriers to scientific research, particularly into marijuana's potential medical uses, such as chronic pain management. The order directs Attorney General Pam Bondi to expedite the rescheduling process. Officials emphasize that the change formally acknowledges possible medical value, but does not legalize marijuana or alter federal prohibitions on possession, which would require congressional action. Supporters argue the shift could improve research quality, encourage patient-doctor discussions, and reduce legal uncertainty, while critics note that evidence on safety and effectiveness remains limited due to past restrictions. From all of us here, stay classy, Dimsdale!